Well, I've heard people saying that South Africa can play a role in making sure that Zimbabwe becomes free. Well, this is what former Johannesburg Mayor Herman Mashaba had to say.
We have a crisis taking place across our border. For years, our government has watched while ZANU-PF destroyed a country once capable of feeding much of Southern Africa. This crisis impacts our country deeply, and it is now time for a new approach. It is time for hard diplomacy. We must adopt the strongest and harshest policies against an oppressive government and not punish the people of Zimbabwe. This should start by freezing the assets of ZANU-PF leaders in South Africa and banning them from entering our country until there's real reform in that beloved country.
Well, while this might look practical and could be a better solution, I'm afraid there are hindrances. First hindrance is that there are a lot of South African business people in Zimbabwe. For example, this Professor Mufumadi, he was here, remember the time when there was Operation Restore Legacy. He was sent here by Jacob Zuma. He is a chairman of Zimplast. What does this mean? It means that they cannot freeze the assets of their cadres in South Africa, forgetting that there is a big platinum company here in Zimbabwe that is supplying South Africa with raw platinum, and who happens to be the chairman of that company. So you see, it's gonna be a tit for tat. They freeze their assets that side, they get frozen here. Then the second hindrance is, you all know that Cyril Ramaphosa has got so much links with white monopoly capital. De Beers, Oppenheimers, all that, they have got links to Cyril Ramaphosa. So the challenge is that if they do that, these guys, it's like they are holding manuds van the ANC. That's why when they come here, they act like, come to Zimbabwe and say, there is a problem, there is a problem. Come here, they act like a reined chicken. That's what happens. So it's not gonna work. However, there is another way. I don't want to shout it, especially to those guys who are doing dudula. There is a better way of doing dudula, in a way that if you want to chase one Zimbabwean that is in Khayelitsha, or one Zimbabwean that is in Soweto, or one Zimbabwean, you make an example of one Zimbabwean that is in Joburg, that is not going to do the trick. Because when you are trying to chase this one and you make a public spectacle of this one, there are either 2,000 that are flocking in, and also there are cars that are going to the border with your products that are coming from South Africa, are actually making sure that South African business, they stay afloat. A lot of things that you find that are coming from South Africa. So the way for them to do dudula is close the border, close the Beit Bridge border, and when they start losing millions, there is nothing that is coming in, nothing that is going out. That is a proper dudula, and that one, I can tell you, you are going to see the South African army, they are going to be involved. That one, they will pull all their resources in order to stop it from happening. But if you are just doing this dudula of dudularing all your Zimbabweans and think that you are going to win the war, I'm afraid it's not going to happen. It's not going to change. It's just going to do a little bit of trick, scare a little guys like us, and then at the end of the day, people are going to come back. That is not hitting at the core of the matter. Tell me what you think in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. What do you think about South Africa's role in Zimbabwe?